Welcome back to Mighty Little Green Machine. Please remember, if you like what you see, hit the like and subscribe button.
Hi, and welcome back. As you may have seen in one of my previous videos, when the first time I took off the 260D backhoe off my new tractor, I broke the seat post. So I've got the new part. I ordered it from greenpartstore.com. It's $216. They had super fast shipping. It came within a few days. And I'm going to walk you through changing it in case you ever do it. Just as a reminder, the way I broke this, and hopefully this helps you not to break yours, is I folded the seat down to pull the pins that lock it onto the tractor and didn't fold it back up. And when I went to curl it off the tractor, the seat stuck and it snapped the bracket in half. Here's the bottom of the bracket right here. So I'm going to start by removing the 4 bolts here on the platform which hold the bracket to the backhoe. They're 14 millimeter bolts. These looks like they're carriage bolts, so they've got a square head on the top and they're locked in, so they're flat. So you don't need a wrench or anything on the top. Hey, it's a hot one today. It's 81 degrees, but in this temporary shelter, it's probably a lot hotter than that. Yeah, so that's a carriage bolt. If you can see, it's got the square head that fits down into the square hole. There's really not enough room to get anything else in here. And I tried using a ratcheting wrench, but it's tucked up too high. There's 4 bolts that hold this in. Now I was looking at this, the piece where it attaches to the seat, which I'll show you how I remove in a minute, is spring loaded, and it's a little unruly, so I think it's going to be easier to bolt the actual new bracket in first and then mount the seat on. And these are lock nuts or nylon nuts, so that when you get them attached, they won't loosen up. That's the 4th bolt. And then this just slides out. You can see where it snapped right there. It's just like a pot steel, cheap steel, so it's really not that strong. It probably would have bent instead of broken if it was a better steel, but maybe that's better that it breaks. Okay, I'm just going to take the new piece and slide it in. And it kind of holds there. Now it's interesting because these are just slots. They're not actual holes. The bolts just kind of set in them. I would have thought it would have had holes instead of slots. I don't know, maybe it saves a few bucks on the assembly line. going to start all 4 of these before I tighten anything, I think, just to make sure that it lines up. Now again, with these bolts, dropped it. With these bolts, there's a shoulder here. You want the shoulder to go down against. There's the rubber or plastic inside there, the nylon that locks it. That wants to be going out. The other thing about these nylon nuts, you can't spin them on very far because once it hits the nylon, it becomes hard, which is designed that way, obviously, so that it stays on the bolt. Okay. Two down. I find that it works the best if you kind of just put a little pressure on the top of the bolt so it holds it in its square. Otherwise, it'll pop up and spin. Okay. And one more. And that's that. So that's back in there again. Now next we got to take the seat off of the other side of the broken bracket and then install it on here. But this really has been an easy job so far. On the seat. And if you look, it's got a spring on there to hold tension so it doesn't flop. I'm assuming that's adjustable. We'll find out in a minute. And it's going to be a 14mm nut on one side and a hex head on the other. Once I find that size, I'll let you know what size it is. Okay, so the Allen head or hex head is a 1/4 inch. I'm using a bit on my gun because it's easier. But if all you have is Allen keys, that'll work just as fine. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this off. Now I'm going to have to really be careful because I don't know how many pieces are in here. And I want to make sure that I don't mess up how this goes together. Okay, looks like there's just a shoulder bolt, a spring, and the nut. So what we're going to do, and on here is a bushing in the seat. And so we're going to make sure that we put the bolt back through the bushing. Just like that. Then we're going to put the spring back on. And the nut, what I probably should have done, and if I did this again would have done, is marked where that nut was. I mean, it's not critical, but it looks about like where it was. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so that's perfect. So that wasn't bad at all. It took me about, I don't know, 15 minutes maybe 20, including getting the tools to do the job. So not a bad deal. So hopefully watching this video reminds you not to keep your seat down. And when I down, I mean this way. When you're taking your backhoe off, it needs to be up like this. And if for some reason that you do have that problem like I did and learn the hard way like I do sometimes, then you just saw it's not that difficult to fix. I mean, it's a little expensive, but I really didn't have much of a choice. I can't use the backhoe without a seat. So if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll see you next time.